Oh, there we are.
Llama show on Tuesday. We are on Farmflix. Don't know, it's in between the two. Just look at the root structure on that. Awesome. Right guys, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. It is the first day back at work, sort of full time with all of us here on the farm today. And we're going to start cleaning out one of our cow sheds. I'll take you over in a minute. In our midden over there where we keep all our muck, we've got a bit of a slurry issue going on. So we need to basically clean out a shed to mix some solid muck with some sloppy muck. Done it once before already, just before Christmas. We need to do it again. We need the tractor, because normally we have a spare tractor floating about in the winter. At the moment we don't, because Big Boot isn't feeling very well. So I'm going to drop the 155 off of the feeder wagon and go and put it on one of the trailers. John's going to shift some straw out of the way, I'll show you that in a second, and then we're going to start shifting muck. I had a shifty around in the hay shed this morning, so all the hay is now on the right hand side, and there's a bay on the left there to put straw in. And then if you come over here into the midden, you can see it's all sort of started to avalanche its way forward, just because it's pretty sloppy stuff. It's not slurry, but it's not box muck either. It's all, don't know, it's in between the two. So we did have a pile of muck in the corner there of strawy stuff to mix it with, but we've exhausted our supply now. So what John's going to do is move that stack of straw into the hay shed next door, and then we're going to bring down some solid muck from one of the cattle buildings. I'm going to tip that against that back wall where the straw is, and then John will bring down a bucket every time I bring down a trailer full, and he'll sort of mix all this sloppy stuff with it as we're going along. So I bent one of your spikes. The little ones.
They're mild steel.
They are mild steel, yes.
I don't know why they're mild steel.
I don't know. They are quite handy though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I bent one of the spikes on the set of spikes this morning, trying to unhook it onto the floor. But as John said, they're mild steel, those bottom set. They're not hard ox or anything. So all you got to do is find somewhere to put it in and bend it back. But anyway, let's go and get a trailer. Right, so I've just hooked on one of our Marshall trailers. It's the newer one of the three that we have. We've got the Fleming there, which would have been easier because it's got a hydraulic door, probably the nicer trailer, and one of the old Marshalls there. The reason I've hooked this one up, the Fleming's full of plastic bags that are going to be sent off to be recycled when the trailer's full, and this one's got a galvanised back door, so when we wash it, it's a bit easier to wash than that one, because obviously it needs washing out afterwards. It's got a prop in it, so I need to hook up the hydraulics, lift the trailer up, take the prop out, and I'll leave that down here. Looks nice inside. That one there and the other old Marshall, Craig is resprayed. He resprayed that one, and the other one's in the bay to be resprayed, and then that one needs respraying afterwards. Hydraulic pipe in, the brakes on, so it'll be heavy when we're loaded. Light saves the wires getting mangled. Right, now because this tractor's got a spool on the back, put it in the brown one, and one way will lift. There we go. Lift that up out of the way. Take out these props. John made those and they are brilliant. Stop water pooling up this end of the trailer and rotting the floor out. So we can just put it down again. Need to make sure with these trailers, because they've not got a hydraulic back door, they've got these pins. I'll make sure they go up, otherwise you lose everything out the back door. Unfortunately, I know from experience. We're in the shed. So you can see the cows are shut forward on the passageway. They've been shut back here most of the morning whilst we do the scraping and feeding. And then normally we bed them up, but because we're cleaning it out today, we haven't. So they've got feed and water there, that's the water trough, whilst we're cleaning out. It really doesn't take that long once we get going. We'll soon bulldoze through all of this. I'll be here to move gates out of the way and stuff for John whilst he is emptying the shed. We'll empty this side today, and then we'll do the other side possibly tomorrow or another day this week. You can see that's all been nicely bedded up for them. They're happy cows. Be calving in about a month or so. We've got a very busy week here at the moment. We've got dung to get out the sheds. We've got cows to vaccinate because we did the first round of vaccinating before Christmas, and the young ones need their second dose. Guys are coming to shear sheep on Thursday, and then next week is llama. So llama show on Tuesday. John's down there moving straw still at the minute, but once he's up here, I'll back the tractor and trailer into there, and he'll come out the shed, fill me up, and then I can either back round here, or back straight down the slope, take it down to the midden. Right, we're away. Here comes Bowman with the first bucketful. Back into position in front of the shed. That was heavy. I'll get out and show you in the shed, perhaps in a bit. We'll get a couple loads going and get some momentum, and then you'll be able to see what's going on down at the midden as well. What I'm gonna do is back down the slope. I think that's the safest thing to do. It puts the least amount of stress on the trailer, screwing around on the concrete. Again, find a nice slow gear and try and do it without touching any of the brakes. A lot of people now would be tempted to dip the clutch and brake, but all you do is put stress on your brakes on the trailer and the tractor. The tractor is designed to engine brake like it is, and then we get to the bottom of the hill, we'll stop. Brakes are pretty sharp. We'll head off. But yeah, whilst we're on the move, good time to tell you that on Sunday, so the day that hopefully you're watching this, the day that this video will be released, we are on Farmflix. So our Farmflix episode will be live as you are watching this, all being well. So if you're a Farmflix member, make sure you go and have a watch of that. And if you're not a Farmflix member, I believe they are still doing a free trial at the moment. So if you want to have a taster of the Farmflix experience, you can do, and you can see our episode all at the same time. John's in the midden, so I've got a background, try and avoid him. He knows I'm coming round, so he won't hit me. Another thing a lot of people do at this sort of time is they hold the tractor and trailer on the clutch, which is not a good thing to be doing. We're just in neutral and we roll forward, brake when we need to. We can float the trailer down, back to forward again. It's got a very high roof, this midden, so never usually any danger of hitting the ceiling or the front as we come out. Then all you have to do on these trailers is you can float them down, but you do need to pressurise the door shut because those pins come up and hold it shut. So that's what we'll do. I'll just get out and make sure they are up. I'm sure they are. Yes, pins are up. John would look anyway as he comes past because he's got to come up through here before I go backwards. Full can of Coke there, someone's left. Alright, let's have a look in the midden, shall we? I tipped my second load just here in front of the first one. John's just piling it all up against the back wall as much as you can. Once I tip another couple loads in front, you won't be able to reach the back wall. You want to make sure you get it as far back, as high as you can, as early as you can. And then what he'll do is, as he puts that up against the back wall, come down here and get some of this sloppy stuff and chuck it all on top. And then we'll bring more down, chuck in front, and repeat the process like that. You can see on the floor here what he's driving through is this horrible sloppy stuff. And all the water and effluent that runs out of it goes into this channel, and this channel goes into a tank underneath the concrete. And then in the summer we'll suck it out, spread the water or dirty water effluent stuff on some of the grass ground. I was just saying how you're looking forward to having pictures with people at Llama. There you are. We'll clean that out on the next load. Oh, what do you reckon? Woohoo! John can bulldoze that out of the way now. Speed and power. Just hang on there for a minute. There he goes. Right, now that there's 2 gateways open as such, we can get at all of that. That'll keep us going for 2 or 3 more loads. And then what we'll do right at the end is tidy up, go back in and take all this up against that wall. Yeah. Cows are wondering what's going on. Whereas the ones this side are just nice and chilled out, look. It'd be great to be a cow. The other good thing about doing this now, about a month before these guys have been calving, is the straw will have time to build up again. So what you don't want is when cows are very heavily pregnant, is there to not be a lot of straw on the floor, on top of the concrete, because the risk of them slipping, doing some harm to themselves. Yeah, the risk of them hurting themselves whilst they're pregnant, or heavily pregnant about to calve, is just not good. Now what we'll do is this will sit in the midden until springtime, and then what we normally do is get all the sort of spring fertiliser and spraying and silage making out of the way, and then when we're in that bit of a lull period where there's not a lot happening, we'll cart all this dung away to the off ground, and it will sit there so it has another chance to rot down because you've moved it. It sort of starts the, is it anaerobic process? Anyway, you end up turning and it ends up composting for a bit, and then we'll spread it after second cut, and it will rot down a lot easier, and there's no worries of us picking it up whilst making second cut, because what you do in the past is you put it on after first cut and then you end up with muck in your second cut because it hasn't quite rotted away. But if we put it on after second cut, then leave it for a month, 6 weeks before any sheep can go on it, and then it has all winter then to break down. Right, let's do shoveling. That will be some absolutely superb compost. Look at that, beautiful. Just a tiny bit left there. Better than it was anyway. John's making a fair pile of dung there. We'll get this out of the way and then we can tip in the corner, push all this up. Yeah, we're winning. Things that shouldn't be in the dung heap. Lick buckets. Nearly full as well, and they're not cheap. Probably all right actually. Put that back in front of one of the balls. Well, we've certainly made a dent in it now. Nice thing about these sort of polished concrete floors, they clean up so well. You haven't hardly got to come in and do anything afterwards. You can get everything with a bucket straight off the floor. You like that, cow? Soon rattle through a shed like this. There's only 4 posts, there they are, 4 posts and 4 gates in the actual shed itself, and once they're out of the way, like now, John can just drive at that up against the wall, get it out as quick as he can. Not much longer, you can go back in there, give you some fresh straw. Looking smart. Could do with a bit of a wash. It's all bunged up from the dust and feeding. I don't think much to this weather. Perfect for ducks. Anyway, look at the difference. All this big pile of soup is gone. John makes it look pretty easy, but it isn't. It takes a bit of mixing in. It's about 1 more load up in the shed to bring down. So I'm guessing John will mix it as much as he can. whether we leave a bit, mix slurry in this next time. But we have got the other half of the shed to clean out at some point.
There's a man in his happy place.
Yeah, we've had a couple of loads of barley straw this year that obviously it was horrendously dry last year, and as they went through the combine, the straw just got absolutely smashed to nothing. And it's like matchsticks. You put the straw chopper going and it's just like throwing sawdust out. So we ended up using probably twice as much straw as we normally would, which means you end up with twice as much dung as you normally would. But it's just one of those things that happens. Next year might be, or this year might be completely different, you never know. If anyone had spotted this and was wondering what it was, well, that was there because I was using our new grab over there, or new last year, and I was a bit keen getting low to the floor when loading out dung. That grid was the other way around. And I just caught it with a tine, and I stopped dead in the Manitou, and I nearly went out the windscreen. Never broke the tine, didn't even touch the tine, just bent that in a little bit. That was a change of underwear moment, that was. Right, we are finished with the trailer. I've not washed it out, but we're going to have to clean up the other side of the shed pretty soon, so it won't hurt. It's actually pretty clean inside. I know it looks like there's a lot of chaff on the back of it there. There's no actual muck in it. We'll leave it tipped up. It rains nearly every day anyway, so it will sort of get washed out on the compound. I've just hooked the wagon back on, ready for tomorrow morning. The days are getting slightly longer. It's 4:30. It's not dark yet. Yeah, this is us complete. I just tipped the last load there on the floor so John can have a tidy up if he wants to, or I'll do it in the morning when we're mucking out. But we've got a mountain of muck now in that corner.
From there, that way, before we started, was empty. There wasn't anything there. There's some bales that we moved. Yeah, look at that. Hell of a stack of dung.
But by the sounds of it, John's up there beating 7 bales of something out of the bales that he's taken up with the Manitou, so let's go and see how he's getting on. What do you reckon?
Huh?
What do you reckon?
Well,
They'll beat it around a bit as well, won't they? Yeah. Right, we're running out of battery and daylight, so I'll make this quick. But anyway, cows are back in, other than the pen I'm in, because John's gone to get one more bale. We'll come round and they'll start beating the crap out of these bales. They like doing that. What we'll do is we'll shut them all back on the straw in a minute when John's come back with the last one, and then we'll just take a bucket full of muck up the passageway, just so it's clean, because otherwise they're on brand new straw. They're going to go out and get really mucky feet when they feed, and then bring it all in here. So try and keep it clean till the morning. I'm going to leave you guys there. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, then please do so. It's completely free. Anybody that's going to Lammer on the 10th of January, the Tuesday, we might see you there. Also, as this video is going live on the Sunday, our episode is also going live on Farmflix. Head over there and get a free trial if you haven't already got a membership. And yeah, we'll see you again soon. Cheerio.